Hard sync will require you to make your sinks both more powerful and more consistent, so make sure you're plenty comfortable with doubles and triples. When you practice sinks in preparation for this course, try to get as tight of sinks as you can and be as repeatable with your technique as possible. Jump 1 on hard sync is 2 doubles back to back. Sounds simple, but the barrier you need to get over is fairly high, so you need to have a powerful sink. If you aren't making it over, spend a little longer on the ground so your pre-fired rocket hits you as you rocket jump rather than just after. Whenever you see red in this course, the red at the end of each jump, you can use that to get just a bit higher. For jump 2, the first double is similar to jump 1. After that double, however, you need to do a triple to get up to the top. The triple required is far from perfect, but it's tight enough that you may need to push your limits more than you normally do to make the jump. Make sure your bundle is as tight as you can make it, and wait longer on the ground before your last rocket. If you miss the triple and need to recover, you can use the back wall rather than resetting the jump. You can go from no sync to a triple down at the bottom, or just fix a bad resync with the aid of the wall. To get to the end, you need to sync on the other side though, so you'll have to leave the safety of the wall when it's time to try to beat the jump. Jump 3 is multiple water sinks back to back. Since you can build a water triple from a water double, you can get way past the end just from a water triple done on the first platform. Aside from using water triples, you can also do doubles. You have plenty of time to look back at your rocket for these doubles, so don't try to do them blind. There's plenty of feedback on this jump, so it will just be a matter of consistency and not dropping those sinks. Jump 4 will test your ability to do a triple under pressure. After doing wall shots and then a wall catch, you need to do a long wall climb. The gap for the transition to the back wall is really big, so you'll have to have plenty of vertical momentum and maybe even some horizontal momentum so that you can strafe to the other end. You don't need to transition back though, instead you can just do a long wall pogo along the corner and get over to the other side. From there, you'll need to do a triple. You've probably invested about 30 seconds into this jump by this point, so the triple will be high pressure. Since you need to go for distance, you also can't redo it if it's bad. For this sort of thing, it's really important to just trust yourself and give it your best go, rather than getting in your head and doing it while being really scared about failing. Jump 5 actually has a new technique to teach you, rather than simply being a test of how well you can do what you've already learned. So-called moving triples require you to judge how fast you're moving and falling without being able to see your rockets. Technically, this jump is possible in just one triple, but it's very tight. Similarly, you can avoid doing a moving triple if your first triple is powerful enough for you to stop mid-air above the second platform and triple from there. Again, while those options are possible, they require really good triples and you'd miss out on the opportunity of learning a new skill. So consider the other completion options as challenges for later, and focus on moving triples for now. Because you can't see where your rockets are as you shoot them, it can be hard to tell if you're shooting them early or late. I hate to say that the technique is feel, because that sounds like a cop-out to not explain it, but these really do benefit more from practice than explanation. Still, you should be able to distinguish your pre-fires so you can tell which one ended up higher or lower, and therefore needs to be shot later or earlier, respectively. It's easiest to have another player help you and watch what pre-fire it was, but if you don't have that, you can instead look at the angle. The rocket that's closer to going straight down should be the second one that you shot. If it's hitting the ground before the first one, then you should have shot the second rocket earlier, and your first rocket too if you held M1. If it's hitting the ground after the first one, you should have shot the second rocket later, and maybe the first one too, just to put the two closer together time-wise. As a general rule, you should start shooting pretty soon after you start to fall. The horizontal speed means that you start shooting a lot earlier than you do if you were shooting straight down in a normal triple. On jump 6, you build up a triple in the water. Shoot off the wall once to get enough height for a double. You'll end up a little higher than you would if you did 3 rockets from the ground, like on Easy Sync 3, so you'll want to wait a touch longer during your sync to get full power out of it. You can use the wall once more after the sync to help you get to triple height, but if your water double is good enough, you'll be rising too fast to even shoot it. The water triple you need isn't perfect, but it is pretty good. Push the timing on the ground rocket to be as late as possible so you can get as high as you can. Remember that you can strafe to gain some horizontal speed, and this jump is perfect for it. Use that speed to make sure that you get into the hole and have enough momentum to not fall back down it. Jump 7's the quint, and it's considerably higher than the one in medium sink. At this level within sinking, you should absolutely learn to walk off before your bundle reaches you once you fall on the midway platform, if you haven't done so already. Delay that last rocket in the sink as much as possible so you get the best quint that you possibly can. Jump 8 requires a sink speed shot. Okay, there's another method that replaces the sink speed shot with the triple, but you're here to learn, right? Alright, so if moving triples are done by feel, sink speed shots are done by sheer luck. But, while even the best jumpers frequently miss sink speed shots, a potent combination of practice and understanding allows them to hit these more often than not. For most sink speed shots, including this one, the rocket you pre-fire will actually be what makes you speed shot, and the second rocket hits you like a skip, but you're just coming off the ground at a really fast speed from the speed shot. Sink speed shots tend to work best when you're moving forward almost as fast as you can get with the normal rocket jump off the wall, and falling just too little to be able to do a normal sink. You can also do a sink speed shot from higher by doing the pre-fire earlier, and lower by going a bit faster. After the sink speed shot, you still have a moving triple to do. The ramp gives you a trajectory that makes the pre-fires for the triple pretty lenient, and the height for the triple is low enough that it's actually possible to make with just a C-tap double if you shoot the red part of the wall to make it the rest of the way up. Jump 9 will test your ability to consistently chain moving doubles. There's a few concepts that will help you here. First, it's crucial that when you have speed, you keep it. This means that you want to strafe to get to the next spot you sink instead of just pressing S to slow down. If you're going too far, you should notice that early on and do a big curve to keep your speed, but cover less distance and still get to the same spot. You'll be tempted to shoot your rocket early after landing to not miss the sink, but be careful that you aren't going too early and making it impossible to get to the next sink. Try and figure out what extreme you're tending towards, and remember that your timing will change based on how fast you're moving forwards and how high you got. The last jump in the course is a double into some walls, followed by a wall sink, and finished off with a moving triple. While it may seem intimidating, all three sinks involved are pretty loose. If you do the double tight enough, you'll go so fast that you can only do one wall shot. And if you do the wall sink well enough, you can skip the triple. If you get high enough to resync the triple, you can just go right over to the end instead. With this in mind, you want to get a mediocre sink with good horizontal speed, a couple of wall shots to go fast into the wall sink, and from there do your pre-fires and try to triple up to the end. An alternate way to do this jump is to just do a rocket jump so that you can triple at the beginning. This way might be easier for some, but I recommend people learn how to do it the intended way as well. Good luck tackling the toughest sink jumps JA2 has to offer. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.